Thankfully, I got my green screen up. There we go. Let's see what we got here. So anyway, we're coming towards the end. Excuse me, of book 4. You have to excuse me. I'm still getting over this stuff. It takes a long while, but I'm doing better. I can't go karaoke and whatever, but I'm doing better. This healing is a long process. It's several months, but you know. Anyway, yeah, there's only a couple pages, really. About 4 pages, and then it's book 5. Believe it or not, book 5. And so yeah, it ain't over till it's over, dude. No, it's like I'm hearing some theories going about, because some things are going on. It's like they think there's an occult aspect to the book. No, I don't believe that, people. Don't believe that. It's just coincidental. But anyway, yeah. So we're back where Frodo's body was taken by the orcs, and Sam. Well, he's Master Samwise, Sam McGee. So now he has to go over there because he went back and he had seen what happened. So, oh well, they didn't say he was dead. So they went and said, oh well, we're gonna take him. You got a spy. Let's go ahead and take him. So we're gonna see what's up. And we may find our little friend, Gollum Schmeagle. See what's up now. And we'll go ahead and it's going to go into battle mode. And I'm going to say it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and disappear. Boop. And I'm going to go and get started and read. Okay, so let's see. They had taken Frodo's body. They were off. I'm on page 736 and decided to go start in the middle. They had taken Frodo's body. They were off. He could not catch them up. Uh, Still, he labored on. The orcs reached the tunnel and were passing in. Those with the burden went first, and behind them there was a good deal of struggling and jostling. Sam came on. He drew the sword, a flicker of blue in his wavering hand, but they did not see it. Even as he came panting up, the last of them vanished into the dark black hole. For a moment he stood. For a moment he stood, gasping, clutching his breast. Then he drew his sleeve across his face, wiping away the grime and sweat and tears. He said, and sprang after them into the darkness. It no longer seemed very dark to him in the tunnel. Rather, it was as if he had stepped out of a thin mist into a heavier fog. His weariness was growing, but his will hardened all the more. He thought he could see the light of torches a little way ahead, but try as he would, he could not catch them up. Orcs go fast in tunnels, and this tunnel they knew well. For in spite of Salem, they were forced to use it often as the swiftest way from the dead city over the mountains. In what far off time the main tunnel and the great round pit had been made, where Salem had taken up her abode in ages past. They did not know, but many byways they had themselves dug about it on either side so as to escape the lair in their goings to and fro on the business of their masters. Tonight they did not intend to go far down, but were hastening to find a side passage that led back to their watchtower on the clay. Most of them were gleeful, delighted with what they had found and seen, and as they ran, they gabbled and yammered after the fashion of their kind. Sam heard the noise of their harsh voices, blunt and hard on the dead air, in the dead air, and he could distinguish two voices from among all the rest. They were louder and nearer to him. The captains of the two parties seemed to be bringing up the rear, debating as they went. Can't you stop your rabble making such a racket, Shogart? Running the one. We don't want to shoot them on us. Come on, Gorbach. Yours are making more than half the noise, said the other. But let the lads play. No need to worry about Sheila for a bit, I reckon. She sat on a nail, it seems, and we shan't cry about that. Didn't you see a nasty mess all the way back into that cursed crack of hers? If we've stopped it once, we've stopped it 100 times. So let 'em laugh. And we struck a bit of luck at last. Got something that Luxburg wants. Luxburg wants it, huh? What is it, do you think? Hellfish, it looks to me. Well, undersize. What's the danger in a thing like that? Don't know. Till we had a look. Oh, no. So we haven't told you what to expect. They don't tell us all they know, do they? Not by half. But they can make mistakes. Even the top ones can. Shh, Lord. Sugar's voice was lowered, and so that even with his strangely sharpened hearing, Sam could only just catch what was said. They may, but they've got eyes and ears everywhere. Some among my lot as like as not. But there's no doubt about it. They're troubled about something. The Nazgul down below. By your count, it looks for two. Something nearly slipped. Nearly, you say, said Gorbach. All right, said Gungrat, but we'll talk of that later. Wait till we get to the underway. There's a place where We can talk a bit while the lads go on. Shortly afterwards, Sam saw the torches disappear. Then there was a rumbling noise, and just as he hurried up, a bump. As far as he could guess, the orcs had turned and gone into the very opening which Frodo and he had tried and found blocked. It was still blocked. There seemed to be a great stone in the way, but the orcs had got through somehow, for he could hear their voices on the other side. They were still running along, deeper and deeper into the mountain, back towards the tower. Sam felt desperate. They were carrying off his master's body for some foul purpose, and he could not follow. He thrust and pushed at the block, and he threw himself against it, but it did not yield. Did not far inside, or so he thought. He heard the two captains' voices talking again. He stood still listening for a while, or for a little, hoping perhaps to learn something useful. Perhaps Gorback, who seemed to belong to Mina Morgul, would come out, and he could then slip in. No, I don't know, said Gorback's voice. The messages go through quicker than anything could fly as a rule. But I don't inquire how it's done. Safe it's not to, girl. Those Nazgul give me the creeps, and they skin the body off you as soon as you look at you, and leave you all cold in the dark on the other side. But he likes them too. They're his favorites nowadays, and it's no use grumbling, I tell you. It's no game serving down in the city. You should try being up here with Sheila for company, said Sabran. I like to try somewhere where there's none of them, but the war's on now, and when there's other things may be easier. It's going well, they say. They would. Grunted Gorbon. We'll see. But anyway, if it go well, there should be a lot more room. What did you say? If we get a chance, you and me to slip off and set up somewhere on our own with a few trusted lads somewhere where there's good loot, nice and handy, and no big bosses. Ah, said Shubra, like old times. Yes, said Gorbal, but don't count on it. I'm not easy in my mind. As I said, the big bosses, his voice sank almost to a whisper. Even the biggest, can make mistakes. Something little slipped. I say, something has slipped, and we've got to look out. Always the poor you walks to put slips tonight. Right. And small thanks. But don't forget, the enemies don't love us any more than they love him. And if they get topsides on him, they're done too. But see here, were you ordered out about an hour ago? Just because before you saw us, a message came. Nazgul uneasy. Spies feared on stairs. Double vigilance. Patrol to head upstairs. I came at once. Bad business, said Gorbal. See here, our silent watchers were uneasy more than 2 days ago. That I know, but my patrol wasn't ordered out for another day, nor any message sent to Lustbergs either. Only to the great signal going up and the high national going off to the war, and all that. And then they couldn't get Lothbrokes to pay attention for a good while. The eye was busy elsewhere, I suppose, said Shagwa. Big things going on away west, they say. I dare say, growled Gorbon. But in the meantime, enemies have got up the stairs. And what are you up to? You're supposed to keep watch, aren't you? Special orders or no. What are you for? That's enough. Don't try to teach me my job. We were awake all right. We knew there were funny things going on. Very funny. Yes, very funny. Lights and shouting and all. But Sheila was on the road. My lad saw her and her sneak. Her sneak? What's that? You must have seen him, little thin black fellow. Like a spider himself, or perhaps more like a starved frog. He's been here before. Came out of Luxembourg the first time, years ago. We had word from high up to let him pass. He's been up the stairs once or twice since then. But we left him alone. Seems to have some understanding with her ladyship. I suppose he's no good to eat. She wouldn't worry about words from high up. But a fine guard you keep in the valley. He was up here a day before all this racket. Early late night we saw him. Anyway, my lads reported that her ladyship was having some fun, and that seemed good enough for me. Until the message came. I thought her sneak had brought her a toy, or that you perhaps sent her a present, or a prisoner of war or something. I don't interfere when she's playing. Nothing gets by Sheila when she's on the hunt. Nothing, you say you. Didn't you use your eyes back there? I tell you, I'm not easy in my mind. Whatever came up the stairs did get by. It cut her web and got clean out of the hole. That's something to think about. Ah, well, but she's got him in the end, didn't she? Got him? Got who? This little fellow? But if he was the only one, then she'd have had him off to her larder long before. And there he be now. If Ludwig wanted him, you'd have to go and get him nice for you. But there was more than one. At this point, Sam began to listen attentively and pressed his ear against the stone. Who cut the cords she put around him, Sherlock? Say one has cut the web. Didn't you see that? And who stuck a pin into her ladyship? Say one, I reckon. Where is he, Stargrot? Stargrot made no reply. You may well put your thinking cap on. If you got one, it's no laughing matter. Let's see. No one has ever taken a pin in Sheila before, as you should know well enough. There's no grief in that, but think. With someone loose hereabouts, as is more dangerous than any other damn rebel. and ever walked since the bad old times, since the great siege. Something has slipped. And what is it then? Royal Chagrat? By all the signs, Captain Chagrat, I say, there's a large warrior loose. Elf, most likely. It's an elf sword anyway, and an axe as well as maybe. And he's loose in your bounds too, and you never spotted him. Very funny indeed. Warbucks back. Sam smiled grimly at this description of himself. Ah, well, you've always did take a gloomy view, said Chagrin. You can read the signs how you like, but there may be other ways to explain them. Anyhow, I've got watchers at every point, and I'm going to deal with one thing at a time. When I've had a look at the fellow we have caught, then I'll begin to worry about something else. It's my guess you won't find much in that little fellow, said Gorbog. He may have had nothing to do with the real mischief. The big fellow with the sharp sword doesn't seem to have thought him worth much anyhow. Just left him lying. Regular elfish trick. We'll see. Come on now. We've talked enough. Let's go and have a look at the prisoner. What are you going to do with him? Don't forget, I spotted him first. If there's any game, me and my lads must be in it. Now, growled Chagrin. I have my orders, and it's more than my belly's worth or yours to break them. Any trespasser found by the guard is to be held at the tower. Prisoner is to be stripped. Full description of any article, garment, weapon, letter, ring, or trinket is to be sent to Lunkworth at once, and to Lunkworth only. And the prisoner is to be kept safe and intact, under pain of death, for every member of the guard, until he sends or comes himself. That's plain enough, and that's what I'm going to do. Strip, eh? Said Gorbog. What, teeth, nails, hair, and all? No, none of that. He's for Lunkworth, I tell you. He's wanted safe and whole. You'll find that difficult, laughed Gorbog. He's nothing but a carry-on now. What Lunkworth will do with such stuff, I can't guess. He might as well go in the pot. You fool, snarled Chagrin. You've been talking very clever, but there's a lot you don't know. Though most other folk do. You'll be for the pot or for Sheila if you don't take care. Carry on. Is that all you know of the relationship? When she binds with cords, she's after meat. She doesn't eat meat, dead meat, nor suck cold blood. This fellow isn't dead. Sam reeled, clutching at his stone. He felt as if the whole dark world was turning upside down. So great was the shock that he almost swooned. But even as he fought to keep a hold on his senses, deep your heart knew it. Don't trust your head. Samwise, it is not the best part of you. The trouble with you is that you never really had any hope. Now what is to be done? For the moment, nothing but to prop himself against the unmoving stone and listen. Listen to the vile voices. Guard, said Shugrot. She's got more than one poison. When she's hunting, she gives a stab in the neck, and they go limp as bonefish. And then she has her way with them. Do you remember old Unc Hop? We lost him for days, and then we found him in a corner, hanging up as he was, but he was wide awake and glaring. How we laughed! She had forgotten him, maybe, but we didn't touch him. No good interfered with her, nor this little filth. He'll wake up in a few hours and be on feeling a little bit sick for a while. He'll be all right, or would he? If whoever would let him alone. And of course, beyond wondering where he is and what's happened to him. And what's going to happen to him, laughed Gorbog. We could tell him a few stories at any rate. If we can't do anything else, I don't suppose he's ever been in lovely Lockwood. So he may like to know what to expect. This is going to be more funny than I thought. Let's go. There's going to be no fun, I tell you, said Shugrot. And he's got to be kept safe, or we're all as good as dead. All right, but if I were you, I'd catch the big one that sleeps, where he said in any reported lunchbox. It won't sound too pretty. Say you caught the kitten and let the cat escape. The voices began to move away. Sam heard the sound of feet receding. He was recovering from the shock. Now a wild fury was on him. I got it all wrong, he cried. I knew I would. And now they got him. The devil's the filth. Now leave your master. Never, never. That was my right rule. And I knew it in my heart. May I be forgiven. Now I got to get back to him somehow. He drew his sword again and beat on the stone with the hilt, but it only gave out a dull sound. The sword, however, blazed so brightly now that he could see dimly in its light. To his surprise, he noticed that the great block was shaped like a heavy door, and less than twice its own height. Above it was a dark blank space between the top and the low arch of the opening. It was probably only meant to be a stop against the intrusion of Sherlock, passing on and the when in some latch or bolt beyond the reach of her cunning. With his remaining strength, Sam leaped and caught the top, scrambled up and dropped, and then ran madly, sword blazing in hand, round a bend and up a winding tunnel. The news was that his master was still alive, tossed him to his last effort, beyond thought of weariness. He could not see anything ahead, for this new passage twisted and turned constantly. He thought he was catching the two orcs up, and their voices were growing nearer again. Now they seemed quite close. That's what I'm going to do, said Sherlock. And Angry Tones put him right up in the top chamber. What for? Growled Garbog. Haven't you any lockers down anywhere below? He's going out of harm's way, I tell you, answered Sugar. See, he's precious. I don't trust all my lads. And none of yours, no, you neither. When you're mad for him, he's going where I want him, and where you won't come. If you don't come, keeps evil. Oh, keep civil. Up to the top, I say. He'll be safe there. Will he? Said Sam. You're forgetting the great big elvish warrior. It's loose. And with that, he raced around the last corner, only to find that some trick of the tongue and of hearing which wing gave him. He had misjudged the distance. The two orc figures were still some way ahead. He could see them now, black, squatting against the red glare. The passage ran straight at the doors, leading probably deep to deep chambers far below the pressure horn of Gorbag and Shagrat, drawing near the gate. Sam heard a burst of hoarse singing, blaring horns, and banging of gongs, a hideous clamor. Gorbag and Shagrat were already on the threshold. Sam yelled and brandished saying, but little voice had him drowned in the tumult. No one heard it. The great door slammed to boom. The bars of iron fell into place. The cyclone. The gate was shut, and Sam hurled himself against the bolted brazen plates and fell senseless to the ground. He was out in the darkness, and Frodo was alive but taken by the enemy. Okay. I have now. So I'm going to put this on here. Okay, so this is the right angle from the second stair. So that's where the incident went down. Okay, so everyone's got to clear up this. Take care of that. So anyway, people, we have back to it. This one, a little bit of Return of the King, being the third part of the Lord of the Rings. Very interesting like that, right there. You have the tree. And here's book 5. So next time will be ministries. Chapter 1. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let everyone go. What is going to happen next? So I'm just going to go ahead and let everyone go. Well, I see. Isn't that a familiar name right there? There you go. You may go ahead and talk about that. And hopefully, I will feel less throaty. Maybe I can go back, God willing, to read the whole chapter. Okay, but here is those snippets of the next chapter. I will post those up. So, give you visuals. But anyway, I want to let you go. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. And, do if you go out have a good time, make sure you don't hurt yourself or someone else. And be careful, okay, right? Okay. I may not be your substitute or whatever, whatever, your teacher, associate teacher anymore, um, right now. But anyway, you still have to make sure you're doing good. Okay, all right. Take care, fellow hobbits, orcs, dwarves, and elves. Later, Tolkien's.